Good evening. I'd like to welcome you to the October 17th, 2011 Washougal City Council meeting. I ask that you please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the Constitution of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jennifer, could you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Costin?
Present.
Councilmember Shoemaker?
Here.
Councilmember McDaniel?
Here.
Councilmember Delavar?
Present.
Councilmember Greenlee?
Here.
Councilmember Morris?
Here.
And Councilmember Russell?
Here.
Thank you. We do have one quick item, one other item for amendments to the agenda. We will be adding an executive session to the end of the meeting just before adjournment. Topic is potential litigation, likely to last 15 and 20 minutes with no action to follow afterwards. Also, we'll be pulling Agenda Bill 12711 from the consent agenda for a couple of typos and corrections in it. Are there any other amendments to the agenda? Okay, any correspondence?
None.
Perfect. We're now at that point for comments from the public. Any members of the public that would wish to address council this evening? Okay, seeing none, we'll go to consent agenda. Consent agenda this evening consisting of 6 items: the joint workshop minutes of September 26, 2011, council meeting minutes of October 3rd, workshop minutes of October 10th, regular accounts payable claims in the amount of $264,376.67, Agenda Bill 12511, a mutual aid agreement with Skamania County Fire District Number 4, and Agenda Bill 12611, district court fees for 2012.
Mr. Mayor, I ask unanimous consent that we approve the consent agenda.
Hearing no objection, so ordered. Takes us to Agenda Bill 12711, Addendums A and B of the Coordinated Water System Plan. Jennifer or David, who would like to take that?
We had the mayor pull this item. As you'll see, I handed out an Addendum B. There were a few typos in the original addendum, and it wasn't formatted correctly. So there's no substantial changes to the content, just the format to ensure that it was in the proper format for an interlocal agreement. So we highlighted all of the typos that were corrected and the actual structure and format by adding headers basically over the paragraphs to put it in the proper format. But other than that, it's the same information as you received earlier.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign the interlocal agreements revising the Clark County Coordinated Water System Plan.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any council discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And that brings us to the second point in the agenda for any public comments. Anyone wishing to make a comment to the public or to the council? Okay. Hearing none, I have just one item under Mayor's report. For any of you who may not have made it down E Street today, it is open. We may get out of here a little bit early this evening. I would certainly suggest anybody that wants to see it sooner than later. Virtually all of the pilings have been taken out from 6th down to 32nd Street, and she's about as wide open as she can be. I believe we've got some minor corrections that you'll see happening. We've got some hydro seeding going in for landscaping areas. There are a couple of broken curbing areas that you'll see being repaired. And there was some number, I believe they had upwards of 9 of the ADA ramps that WashDOT was calling into question. They were doing a tour of late last week, so they may or may not have the contractor go back and redo some of those. But for the substantial part, it is completed and open. David, do you recall when Integrity is set to mobilize for south side sidewalks on the western end? I know the contract calls for before the end of the year to be completed.
I don't remember the specific date when they're going to mob and get started, but could send an update out.
Perfect. Any items from council?
I just wanted to mention that the Camas-Washougal Economic Development Agency had what I personally thought was a very successful meeting with Columbia River Economic Development Council with their new executive director and the chair of the board and another staff member. And I think that they understand better some of our concerns, and we understand better some of theirs. So it was a very productive meeting.
Okay, Rod?
First of all, I believe that tonight we had our first wreck on E Street, but that was a young man, 10 years old or something like that, 11 years old, that decided to use the center turn lane as a scooter lane. So somebody hit him and sounded like a broken leg. So, Chief, would you tell everybody what we're wearing these pink shirts for tonight? And
these are breast cancer awareness that the fire service, they've been during the month of October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and fire service is participating in that. And so for 3 shifts, the Washougal firefighters will be wearing these pink shirts, and then at the Turkey Carnival, they'll be wearing them as well. And all the proceeds go to the Breast
but other than that, that's all I have.
Okay. Any other items from council? Okay, with that, we will adjourn to downstairs for executive session dealing with potential litigation. Again, we should be about 20 minutes or so, and there is no action anticipated once we come back up. We will basically just adjourn at that point.
Mr. Mayor, is it possible to have our session here? I know at least 3 of us are sick, and it probably not being in close quarters would probably be a better idea, if that's okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
So my apologies to the public. We're going to ask you to leave, and we're going to stay here.